Okay, so now that you have downloaded all the files and you've saved them in your file folder, the next step, once you've completed the project and you've gone through all the steps through your textbook through Module 1 and have finished, and then you're done with that at that point and you're ready to submit for a mark, you will notice that there is an expected file name here. So basically what you're going to need to do is go back into your file. Um, and you can see here that I changed my Lakewood name to Lakewood with the underscore dash Karen case, all one word. And then I saved that in my textbook project folder. So just make note of that. So if you run into any issues or it won't upload, it's most likely because the name of your file isn't matching this. So it'll always show you what it should look like, and if it doesn't look like that, then you need to make yours look that way. You don't have to add the file extension. If it's not there, that's generally fine, but this part should, and as you can see, mine is not. That's usually fine. So basically, when you're ready to submit, I just have to close this because I have to resubmit. So I'm going to go in, click on the name of the textbook project so I can submit my work. Again, this is the same screen as always. Now I'm ready to submit for a grade. I've already put in 2 different attempts because I was just playing through a couple of things. So I'm going to click and browse to upload my file that I want to have marked. I'm going to grab the file that it's supposed to be, which is the Lakewood file for the textbook project. I'm going to drop it in there. And now I see that it's ready for submission, so I'm going to click Submit. Oh, for some reason it's not letting me submit. Not sure why that is. Give me 1 sec. Okay, so I have submitted the file, and it shows me in green that once it goes through, you'll see it uploading. It says submission successfully graded. So I'm going to go to the graded summary report, and essentially when we do that, it will download a copy of that to your desktop, as you can see here. So I'm going to open that file up, and again, this is all the different things that that were done during the training in the textbook project. So down below where it says reports, you will see the grading reports, and that is where you click open, and basically it will show you what you were working on, the textbook project. Got a 93, and honestly, actually, this is a student's because I had to submit it for them. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Nonetheless, this is what the grading report looks like. So when you get this back, you can go through, and all the green checks mean all of those tasks that you did in the beige boxes in the chapter or in the textbook, you did correctly. I can see here that this task 5, entering data into tables, that I need to go back and take a look at that. The rest are fine. And again, there's more than one page, so make sure you click on the second page to get all your details. And I can see all of that's fine. So really, I just know that I have a 93. If I want to shoot for 100, then I may, if I have time, I'm going to go back in and see what perhaps I did wrong here. And Bob's your uncle. The other thing too, I will tell you, again, YouTube is a really big help for, troubleshooting any of these pieces, but also going back into your textbook, into the chapter, and reading the before and after, especially the before, any of the beige boxes, which are really talking to you about what you're going to be doing and why, and really paying attention to the fine details. That is one thing I will emphasize with Access and Excel, essentially, but with Access, that attention to detail is extremely important. So if it has a capital letter and you put a lowercase, it's going to mark it wrong. If it has no spaces and you have a space, it's going to mark it wrong. And I will tell you 9 times out of 10, maybe even more than that, when students have an issue or something's wrong, I go in and I take a look, and it is usually a human error 99.999% of the time, which means you didn't actually copy the information properly from the textbook or from the instructions to the database, to the file, or into the field that you're creating, or you didn't put a space, or you had a space and weren't supposed to have a space, you used capital, it wasn't supposed to be capital, and vice versa. That is generally how that goes with MindTap in terms of the errors that I've seen with students. It's really about taking your time. So again, going back to the opening and the welcome, if you wait to the last minute to complete these, then you will struggle because you're going to be rushing, and that's when mistakes really can happen. So you really need to give yourself time to, number one, I would say starting for the first module on Monday, today, the 24th, you want to get registered, review the module 1 in your textbook, go through it, read through some of the theory, read the few opening pages that really talk about what database is and what it's used for, and then it'll go into the simulation, which is the Lakewood Community Health Center, and starting that opening file. But really familiarize yourself with that today, and then get registered for MindTap and have your file folders ready in your OneDrive to save your files that you're going to need for each of the modules. And yeah, I think, if you really follow those, best pieces of advice that I have since teaching this course, or not really teaching it, I really just facilitate the self-directed learning. But nonetheless, those are generally where issues happen, when people rush or are waiting till the last minute to complete work and you don't have enough time, and that's when errors happen. So really just pay attention to all of the details within the instructions. The next video I'm going to do is going to be looking at the assignments, and the assignment and the quizzes, you'll notice, are exactly kind of the same layout, but I'm going to go through them anyway just to show you the difference, because the textbook project is obviously, as you can tell, is based on the textbook tasks in the simulation of the Lakewood Community Center. The assignment and the quiz, however, are two different simulated projects or assignments, essentially. So I'm going to take you through those in the next video.